tucked away in the hills and plains of northern Syria, is a secret. This region, often overlooked in the grand narratives of history, holds within its rugged terrain a wealth of untold stories and hidden gems. The landscape, with its rolling hills and expansive plains, is not just a picturesque scene, but a canvas of history waiting to be explored. Spread across the land are the remains of old villages, frozen in time. These ancient settlements, with their crumbling stone structures and deserted streets, offer a glimpse into a bygone era. Each stone, each pathway, whispers tales of the lives that once thrived here, of communities that flourished and then faded away. These villages, sometimes called the dead cities or forgotten cities, give us a peek into a long-ago time. They are a testament to the architectural ingenuity and cultural richness of the civilizations that once inhabited this region. Walking through these ruins, one can almost hear the echoes of ancient marketplaces, the laughter of children, and the daily hustle and bustle of village life. They stand quietly, telling stories of the people who once lived there. The silence of these ruins is profound, yet it speaks volumes. It tells of a time when these villages were alive with activity, of the traditions and customs that shaped the lives of their inhabitants. The stone structures, though weathered by time, remain as silent witnesses to a rich and vibrant past. In 2011, UNESCO said these villages are super important and put them on the World Heritage List. This recognition was not just a nod to their historical and cultural significance, but also a call to the world to help preserve these invaluable sites. Being on the World Heritage List means that these villages are acknowledged as part of the shared heritage of humanity. This means they're special, and we need to protect them. The designation brings with it a responsibility to safeguard these sites for future generations. It is a reminder that the preservation of history is a collective effort, one that requires global cooperation and commitment. But these old treasures are in danger. The passage of time, natural elements, and human activities have all taken their toll on these ancient structures. The once sturdy stone walls are now fragile, and the intricate carvings are slowly fading away. The Syrian civil war is a big problem, putting these special places at risk. The conflict has not only caused direct damage to these sites, but has also hindered preservation efforts. The war has made it difficult for archaeologists and historians to access these areas, leaving the ruins vulnerable to further deterioration and destruction. The ancient villages of northern Syria are now on a list of World Heritage in danger. This designation highlights the urgent need for action to protect these sites. It serves as a stark reminder of the fragility of our cultural heritage and the impact of human conflict on our shared history. This reminds us that special places can be easily hurt, and we need to protect them. The efforts to restore and preserve these sites are a testament to the resilience and dedication of those who recognize their value. Volunteers and experts from around the world are working tirelessly to ensure that these ancient villages are not lost to time and conflict. Even with these problems, these villages are still important, showing how strong people can be and how the past can still be powerful. They stand as symbols of endurance and resilience, reminding us of the strength of human spirit and the enduring legacy of our ancestors. The stories they hold are not just of the past, but are lessons for the present and future. The story of the ancient villages of northern Syria is long and interesting, full of different cultures and changes. These villages, often referred to as the dead cities, are a testament to the rich history and the various civilizations that once thrived here. They offer a unique glimpse into the past, showcasing the architectural and cultural evolution over centuries. From the 1st century to the 7th century AD, the area thrived under Roman and Byzantine rule. During this period, the villages saw significant development in terms of infrastructure, economy, and culture. The Romans, known for their engineering prowess, laid the foundation for many of the structures that still stand today. It was a good time, with lots of growth. The villages expanded, new buildings were constructed, and the population increased. The fertile lands and strategic location contributed to the prosperity of these settlements, making them bustling centers of activity. Back then, these villages weren't just lonely spots. They were part of a big network of trade. Merchants from different parts of the Roman Empire would pass through, bringing goods, ideas, and cultural influences. This exchange played a crucial role in the development of the region. The Romans, who were good at organizing and building, changed the area a lot. They introduced advanced construction techniques and materials, which allowed for the creation of durable and impressive structures. Their influence is evident in the well-planned layout of the villages and the remnants of their architectural feats. They built roads, water systems, and public buildings, which helped trade and connected the villages to the rest of the Roman world. The aqueducts ensured a steady supply of water, while the public baths and other communal facilities improved the quality of life for the inhabitants. As the Roman Empire changed into the Byzantine era, Christianity became more popular. This shift in religious beliefs had a profound impact on the architecture and culture of the villages. Churches were built, and Christian symbols began to appear in the art and decorations. You can see this change in the buildings of the villages. The transition from paganism to Christianity is evident in the coexistence of pagan temples and Christian churches, often side by side. This juxtaposition highlights the dynamic and evolving nature of the region's history. Old pagan temples stand next to new Christian churches, showing how people's beliefs changed. This blend of religious structures provides a fascinating insight into the spiritual journey of the inhabitants and the broader societal transformations that took place. This mix of Roman, Byzantine, and early Christian styles makes the area's history even more interesting. The architectural diversity reflects the complex and layered history of the region, making it a rich field of study for historians and archaeologists alike. The ancient villages of northern Syria stand as a remarkable testament to the enduring legacy of these great civilizations. Walking into these old villages is like going back in time. You can see what's left of houses, shops, and public places, and imagine what life was like. Picture a busy market with lots of sights, sounds, and smells. Merchants selling things, kids playing, and the smell of fresh bread. The people who lived here were mostly farmers, growing olives, grapes, and wheat. Making olive oil was really important, and you can still find old olive presses in the villages. These presses show how important farming was. Social life revolved around the farming seasons, with religious festivals and community gatherings marking important times of the year. Life was tough, with bad weather and the possibility of war. But even with these problems, the villagers built a strong culture which you can still see today. One of the coolest things about the ancient villages of northern Syria is their buildings. There are all sorts of buildings, from simple homes to big religious structures, each one showing the skills of the builders. They used local limestone, which is easy to find and work with, and it gives the villages a pretty honey color. The houses, usually 1 or 2 stories tall, were built around courtyards, which provided shade and privacy. Many homes had fancy mosaic floors with cool patterns and pictures from stories. These mosaics show the artistic side of the villagers. Public buildings like bathhouses, olive presses, and water tanks were also impressive. The bathhouses, often decorated with mosaics and heated floors, were important social places. The olive presses show how important olive oil was. Section 5. Pagan Temples and Christian Churches, a Tale of Two Faiths. This section explores the fascinating transition from ancient pagan practices to the rise of Christianity in northern Syria, a region rich in history and cultural shifts. The ancient villages of northern Syria are a testament to the significant change from paganism to Christianity. These villages, with their well-preserved ruins, offer a unique glimpse into the past, showcasing how religious practices and societal structures evolved over centuries. In Roman times, pagan temples were a common sight, dotting the landscape with their grand structures. These temples were not just places of worship, but also served as social and cultural hubs, where people gathered for various communal activities. Often built on hills, these temples held a prominent position in the community. Their elevated locations symbolized their importance and allowed them to be seen from afar, drawing people from surrounding areas to participate in religious ceremonies and festivals. As Christianity began to spread and gain popularity during the Byzantine era, the religious landscape started to change. New religious buildings, such as churches, basilicas, and monasteries, began to appear, marking a significant shift in the region's spiritual life. These new Christian structures often replaced the older pagan temples, symbolizing the transition from the old religious practices to the new. The construction of these buildings was a clear indication of the growing influence and power of the Christian church in the region. The Christian buildings were often very large and impressive, reflecting the church's increasing authority and the community's dedication to their new faith. These structures served not only as places of worship, but also as centers for social and cultural activities. One of the most remarkable examples of early Christian architecture in Syria is the Kalb Cathedral. With its tall arches and expansive spaces, this cathedral stands as a testament to the architectural ingenuity and the spiritual fervor of the time. The Kalb Cathedral is particularly noted for its unique dome design, which is believed to have influenced other significant architectural works, such as the Hagia Sophia in Constantinople and even Notre Dame in Paris. This highlights the far-reaching impact of Syrian Christian architecture. The juxtaposition of pagan temples and Christian churches in close proximity within these ancient villages vividly illustrates the region's rich tapestry of religious history. It serves as a powerful reminder of how beliefs and practices have evolved over time, shaping the cultural and spiritual landscape of this historic land. If you listen to the wind, you can almost hear stories from the past. These stories, passed down through time, are part of the stones and paths of this village. Every spot holds a piece of history. The wind is like a guide, asking us to listen and understand the many stories of this place. But this important heritage is in danger. Modern things, neglect, and just the passing of time have caused problems. What was once full of life is now close to being forgotten. We need to protect these cultural treasures, not just for us, but for future generations. Losing them would be terrible. Protecting these places isn't just about the buildings, it's about keeping the spirit of the place alive. Tourism, if done the right way, can help. It can bring money and attention to restore these old sites. It also helps people from different cultures connect and understand the history of this village. Careful and respectful tourism can help make sure these stories are still told. Now is the time to act. We need to work together to protect these cultural treasures, whether it's speaking up, supporting preservation projects, or just telling others. We can all do something. The echoes of the past are asking us to protect their legacy. Let's answer that call and make sure the rich history and culture of this ancient village continues for many years to come.